Welcome back to Rise and Heal. Today we will explore the dramatic and emotional story of a great king, a man who once had it all: wisdom, wealth, and power. But were those things enough to bring happiness and meaning to life? The story of King Solomon's last days is not only a history lesson, but also a profound warning for each of us. People living in times of temptation and challenge. A brilliant beginning. A king chosen by God. Imagine a young man presented with the opportunity to be granted anything he wished by God. Solomon, son of King David, did not ask for riches, power, or a long life, but only for an understanding heart to rule his people. His humility and devotion to his people pleased God. God gave him not only great flight, but also wealth, honor, and a mighty kingdom. But wisdom was not just for show. It was tested immediately. Solomon's judgment was proven in a story about two women fighting over a child. He not only solved the business problem, but also proved that his puzzlement came from God. From there, his reputation grew, attracting the Queen of Sheba, one of the most powerful rulers of the time, to test the validity of his observations. She had to speak up. "What I heard about you is not even half the truth." The pinnacle of glory, a kingdom without equal. Under Solomon, Israel reached unprecedented heights. He built the temple in Jerusalem, a magnificent structure where God dwelt among his people. His kingdom became the cultural, commercial, and spiritual center of the ancient world. Gold, silver, ivory, and treasures flowed to Jerusalem from all over. His throne was made of ivory and pure gold, with 12 lions symbolizing absolute power. But behind the glory lay a big question. Can wealth and power replace a sincere relationship with God? The fall, when the heart is deceived. Solomon, though not anxious, failed to remain faithful to God. He married hundreds of foreign women, a direct violation of God's command. These marriages were not only political alliances, but also spiritual traps. His wives gradually drew him away from God, leading him to worship foreign gods, a serious sin in God's eyes. He built altars to the outcasts, violating God's command. The carefree things he once had were now overshadowed by worldly unions and desires. God warned him twice, but he became hardened. Consequences and judgment. God judges Solomon for his disloyalty. His kingdom will be divided after his death. Solomon's final days are filled with regret and sorrow. He writes the book of Ecclesiastes, which begins with the poignant words, "Nonsense, nonsense, all is nonsense." He realizes that all things, wealth, power, and freedom, are meaningless without God. The final lesson, returning to God. In his final moments, Solomon left a powerful message. It is the duty of every man to fear the Lord and keep his eagles. His story is a warning to all of us, no matter how wise, rich, or powerful we are. Without God, everything is meaningless. Solomon's story is not just about a king, but about each of us. Are we letting worldly desires continue to pull us away from God? Are we living a meaningful life, or are we just following the things that are convenient? Let's reflect and share together. What makes you feel closest to God? How can we avoid the pitfalls that Solomon fell into? If you find this story meaningful, please like, subscribe to the channel, and share with your relatives and friends. Let's build a community of living with meaning and purpose. If you were Solomon, what would you choose when God asked you what you wanted most? And what would you do to stay faithful to God throughout your life? See you at 6 p.m. every Thursday and Sunday. Thank you and see you in the next video.